Hello. It is Monday, April 12th, 2021, and this is the Yormish Full Body Workout. Cycle 7, Chapter 1, Iteration 1. All right, now for a public service announcement. Please do not waste your time watching this video unless you have a very specific reason to watch this video. Otherwise, it will be probably a waste of your time, and I would hate to waste your time. Okay, public service announcements out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing where I do the bit where I don't talk except at the very end and at the very beginning. So what's going on here? What's the deal? Yeah, I did 22 days of the stomach thing that I decided to embark upon, and it was really good for two muscles. And I guess they're the core, the deep abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor, and the transverse abdominis. And it was a whole interesting process of going through those. Didn't do really honestly much else besides that in the last 22 days. So, and I don't even know if I did really that great of a job on that, to be honest with you. So. But the cycle starts. That was the end of the adventure cycle for cycle 6. So that was the end of chapter 4 for cycle 6. Chapter 1 is the full body workout, which is light. Hopefully, the numbers are light and easy to get through, but it's a complete full body breakdown. Also, interesting thing going on. Today is, I'm going to see if I can do that whole hard 75 thing, which is 2 workouts a day. One I already did, which was just basically a walk around the block, around 3 miles and just taking an hour. And the good thing about that was, oh my goodness, the good thing about that was I actually started reading an audiobook, an ebook with a text-to-speech reader situation that I usually do. And I was able to crank it up faster and better than I have ever done with a high level of comprehension. I think the number was 685 words per minute. So that was pretty interesting because usually at that level it just sounds like garbly-gook to me. But in all fairness, I already read the first 30% of the book, and I just decided to go back and start from the beginning, get a better iteration on the book. And the book, I looked at the audiobook of it. The audiobook version is 12 hours, 57 seconds. No, 12 hours, 57 minutes. And so basically 13 hours. And at 685 words per minute, it was something around 2 hours, a little over. And went a walk around the block. Did 50% of the book at a rate that I was like, wow. And I even passed the parts where I got to, beyond that 30%, got to about the 50% point, and I was like, wow, I'm really getting this. All right, so I guess there's a couple things I should attend to first. First is kind of set this little timer thing I got. All right, we're going to hit done on that. Going to do functional strength training. Why not? 3, 2, 1. Okay. Obviously, the whole list has been written out here. So we start out with the pull-ups and the incline bench, and then go through the whole thing, squats, just the rigmarole that goes a little bit back and forth. And then we're done. So, nothing huge. I did set up myself for, I think, 3 sets of 3 pull-ups. So that's fun. All right. Oh, first a stretch out, and then we do the thing. So I guess I'll do the stretch out over there and be ready for it. And I'll zip my lip and then talk till the end. All right, done. Guess this is the part where I talk about things. Get my heavy little chair out. Goodness. I would stretch out here, but man, feeling a little bit out of gas. Something was a little goofy with my left shoulder, left side. Felt it right out of the incline bench. Felt it even more on that lateral raise. Cold shower is going to feel pretty good in a few minutes. But first, practice my talking type situation. So I guess this is the first day of the hard 75, which means a gallon of water every day. And then 2 workouts. One workout has to be outside. Both workouts have to be at least 45 minutes. Reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book. 10 pages of a nonfiction book. And there was a 4th thing. Oh, being completely stuck to your diet. For right now, my diet is just a 16-hour fast, sometimes a little bit more than 16 hours, but at least 16 hours between meals, which usually graduates into some sort of 1 meal a day situation. Over at my dad's house, I'll bring over some frozen things I have, cook them up in my microwave here for a little bit, organize things here a little bit, then bring it over there, put it on a dish, mix it up, cook it there. Good sauces. Bring over some sauces. I don't think he's ever going to buy sriracha, so I supply the sriracha and horseradish and Louisiana hot sauce and other types of hot sauce. Oh man. So those are the 4 things. I guess there's another 5th things, like get a picture on first day. So I guess this suffers to be the picture. So, have a new relationship with the deeper muscles in my abdomen. Partially, I think it was the most important thing, really, is not aesthetics, but having that strong, resilient lower back. And I really think those exercises, and the good news is those exercises could be done laying down, they could be done sitting, they could be done right now. Like that's it. That's just flexing my pelvic floor muscle, activating the pelvic floor muscle, and activating the transverse abdominis. Anyway, so yeah, this is almost out for today. Basically 4 of these. This is 32 ounces. I guess a gallon is 128 ounces, so I got a feeling drinking 1 more of these is not going to be a problem. So 4 of these a day, or 3 of these, and 3 of my electrolyte drinks. I kind of like the 3 and 3 better because I think maybe if I drink too much water, I might be just losing electrolytes, washing away electrolytes. So 3 electrolyte drinks, I'm probably more than in the safe zone. So I'm gonna drink another thing of this, then hit up an electrolyte drink. And yeah, at least it was empty. Oh goodness, hope it didn't crack or anything. I've had a couple water bottles and glasses crack recently. Not because I'm putting hot things in them or anywhere or anything like that. I don't know, honestly. And not because dropping it. Go figure. All right, so I guess I'll turn this to done. There we go. End. 59 minutes. Done. Whew. Okay. So all right. Whew. Feeling the goodness in the last 5 hours. A lot of physical activity in the last 5 hours. So the hard 75 every day, doing 2 workouts, sticking to your diet, whatever it is, the reading, and the gallon of water. The gallon of water is going to be tough to remember, but it's probably going to be a whole bunch of goodness coming from that. Hopefully it'll help heal whatever the hell's going on in my left arm. So that'll be good. I think what it was is I did challenge myself kind of recently to lateral raises using a lot more weight than I'm used to. So I think maybe it was one of those things. I might just push that a little too hard. So be careful, push it a little bit, see where it pushes back, and accommodate, and eventually, because this is a lifetime system, I got this body for a lifetime, hopefully. And so try to make a fitness journey. Fitness. I like the word fitness. Being fit, being ready. Do I want anything bad to happen, or no? But is it nice to be ready for it? Yeah, sure. Fitness. Oh man. So the different things going on in my life. It's kind of nice at the grocery store yesterday. I was saw this lady that was almost at the end of her rope because her kid was freaking out and her daughter was doing all sorts of silly things and stuff like that. And the kid was just being a kid, but just the kid, the fun kind of snowballed itself into a little bit of something that was terrifying the mom. And pushing her to the end of her rope, the end of her patience. And it was kind of nice to help out that a little bit. She had a problem at checkout, and I saw her a couple times throughout the grocery store, and for some reason it was always something like I had to get by her or something like that. And when I get by somebody, it's generally nice to wave or have some sort of happy social noise. And because I guess I tend to ignore most people, just kind of focus on what I'm focused on. The other day I saw a friend of mine in the grocery store. I didn't recognize her at all. I didn't even look at her until she's like, "Oh, and you are, hey, what's going on?" I'm like, whoa, I didn't even realize that was you. Not because you look different, just I wasn't really looking around. And anyhow, so the thing last night, it was nice, helping that out, and not even what little effort I put in was just enough of a distraction towards the child where it gave the mom a little bit of a break, and that was kind of cool. And then as she was finished and walking out, I gave her a happy wave and wished her good luck. So hopefully she'll be doing good. Then on my way out, when I was about to get in my vehicle, I saw this old lady kind of, having a hard time pushing a shopping cart, and she was pushing it back to the recovery place for the shopping carts. So I'm like, hey, it's raining. Don't want you to get too wet. I'll grab that shopping cart for you. And she's like, oh, thank you. And that was kind of nice. Just this happy, unexpected thank you. She was not expecting anybody to help her out like that. And I figured I had a little free time. So if my time is free, then my help is free as well. So, if I can afford free time, I can afford to help somebody out in little ways. My good fortunes get reflected upon others, and the gift of free time sometimes is that gift. So, would like to remember that is often, not as often as possible, but often. And it felt nice. Good deeds for the day and all that kind of stuff. I make a joke. Well, I'm helping somebody out, and just like, okay, good. I did my good deed for the day, and now I can do three bad ones. And the funny thing is, I never do the 3 bad ones. I don't even know what the bad ones would be. There's nothing really bad that I like. There's things I feel guilty about sometimes. I don't know if they're necessarily bad. Like playing video games, not necessarily bad. Playing it for too long and ignoring some of your other responsibilities, yeah, that's bad. So like, it leads to a bad thing, but not necessarily the thing itself is not a bad thing, as long as it's not cutting into other priorities. Matter of fact, today, as soon as I could probably be drinking water while playing a video game, so I can cover both those things. The reading, obviously, I've already been done. Was really happy about walking and reading at that pace. Like, that was normally, that's like over 100 words per minute faster than what I normally do, and I had a higher rate of comprehension than what I normally do. Of course, I'm normally doing some other task and listen to it at 570 or somewhere around there. It's kind of weird. I remember last year, if I was really enjoying a book, I would slow it down to 400. But I think my kind of top speed back then might have been, I'm tempted to say 500. I don't remember. Maybe it was over 500. But it's just like, wow, I've evolved past that now. And I was thinking today, it seems like I'm not evolving fast enough. And then that wonderful surprise of hey, it's already at 685 and I can understand it. Let's keep it here and see how long before I start losing stuff. And it was not bad at all. Of course, I blame some of the books I'm reading that are just not great, and because they're not great, I just burn through them. And some people would consider it trash novels and all that kind of stuff, but hey, they're certainly useful. They're not trash because they're useful to get your reading speed up. So it'd be nice. It's a nice thing to be able to meet somebody, have them recommend a book to you, and then find the ebook version of it, and the next day just yeah, I read that book. What? That's kind of fun. I really wanted to get to know that one woman, Brooke, because she was like, I can read 3 books in a day. And now that I think about it, if I put 6 hours towards the task, I could probably go through 3 books a day. That one book, was that one audiobook, 2 hours at 685. But I'm probably going to have to scale that down when I'm not walking around the block. That kind of thing. Going for a walk, or maybe I'll just go for walks. 6 hours of walking, go through 3 books. That'd be an interesting day. Oh, man, I'm feeling it. Some of it in a good way, some of it in a bad way. Oh. Not too sweaty. It's not too hot in here. It's not too bad. But, oh man, just feeling it. Feeling it. Not too hot of a day today. Thank goodness. Of course, then if it got much hotter, I'm thinking my AC would kick on, and that would be interesting. Sometimes it kicks on, and it just goes super cold for a little bit, and I'm like, whoa, not super cold, but it's just like that's colder than expected. And so that's always a fun thing. I hope that's symptomatic of a enthusiastic air conditioning system, not something going wrong down the line. And if that's a problem, I don't want the solution. That's a high quality problem. That's a problem I want in my life. My AC being a little too enthusiastic but not costing too much. Like, sweet. Well, I guess I should probably end it. I guess I will say the things going on in my life. My life is not revolving around others, but you know, last week was a case of patience. Not played any music, didn't go out and play any music, didn't really go out anywhere. Patience. Some of my friends are going through some difficult times. Some of them are going through great times. I cross my fingers for all of them, especially the ones that are going through the hard times. Got a buddy that's going to be preparing to lose his grandfather. It's a maybe situation. There's a slim chances his grandfather might get a couple surgeries and that will correct the various cancers that are going on within him, and you know, he might be better for a few years or a few years longer than that, which would be a high quality, good situation. But at the same time, my buddy's like, yeah, there's a good chance he might die, and he's done a little bit of preparation for that. His family certainly has. Anyway, hoping best things that can be, you know, for them. I don't know what the best things that can happen would be, but what do I say to you? Practice my diction and elocution. So yeah, big things going on in my life is start of a news cycle, also the start of the Hard 75. The news cycle is about 60 days or something like that. Well, technically, I guess it's 42 days because it's a 7-week cycle and there's 7 days in a week, so 42. No, 49, I'm sorry. 7 times 7 is 49. So it's a 49-day cycle. I've been making a lot of weird little math errors lately. Well, only 2 or 3 I can think of right now, but that one included that I just made. And then there's also that 75-day thing. So that's going to be interesting. Do I have confidence that the 75 thing will do something good for me? Yeah, actually, it possibly already has. Without that 75-day challenge, I would have not walked around the block, and I would have not found out. Yeah, I could read as fast as I actually got to. So that was really good. Hitting that 685 words per minute, it's just been like, wow. So that's what I consider a good thing. While walking around the block, you know. Was outside, not too bright out there. Thank goodness, because I did not use the sunscreen. I probably should have, but you know, I guess even with cloud cover, but it's only an hour and I was basically fully clothed, so there is that. Other big things going on. Oh, I'm really, really happy that I set up that video. I did not have a lucid dream last night, but I felt like I slept pretty good. Got up earlier than I thought. My sleeping timing was totally different yesterday. But that might have been a result of the video, or it might have been a result of other things. And I already have ideas for other sleep time videos. I really like that the video has that pinkish red color after 90 minutes. So it's 5 cycles, 90 minutes, then pinkish red color. Now it's always 90 minutes in the black, but the pinkish red color 5 different times. So that's great because it's like 2 minutes, 4 minutes, then like actually not 8 minutes, but like 9 minutes, and then like 16 or 18 minutes, and then like 36 minutes. So hopefully it's not going to be perfectly in line with everybody's sleep systems, certainly not mine. I'm sure that there's some variety in mine, but hopefully at least one of those pink sessions will go off. And since I have basically my computer next to my bed, and that's playing that, and I have nice Bluetooth headphones, I can turn around, not get tangled in wires, and have a really nice bass response. With that video, I turned off the bass boost, and it was like, turn on the bass boost. If you turn it up too loud, you really get into your own head, but turn it down to a nice small volume, and wow, it's an interesting, good experience to fall asleep to. It's a totally different good experience to turn it up a little bit louder and really feel that song. But once you get used to like the song stopping and starting again, and all the different things going on in the song, like I think maybe it takes a few minutes to get used to it, but since I'm already used to it because I wrote the darn thing, although I did wake up for one of my wake up turnover type situations, and I was like, what's that? That's different. And I was like, whoa. So I surprised myself. I heard my music through that song through a different perspective than I was used to, So that was kind of fun. That was kind of interesting. So I've been doing that 2 nights. I mean, I finished the video Saturday, so it was a Saturday night and then a Sunday night. So ever since I finished it, I've been using it. Let's see here. Yeah, that's really the 2 things going on in my life. Mostly concerned with other folks, and the little things they're keeping it going. Not in a hurry for certain things. Certain responsibilities are coming to pass, and so hopefully I will do right by those rights and responsibilities and all that kind of stuff. What can be said? What can be gained? What can be given? I was thinking back to that conversation we have with ourselves sometimes. While walking around today, I put a pause. There's I think in a book where somebody talks about wishes or something like that, or the most money or whatever. And I thought about it, and it was just like there's 2 levels to this goal. Like it was about setting goals and specific goals. It wasn't. He went on about it's not enough just to say I want to be rich. You want to hit a certain specific dollar amount in a certain specific way. So it's like, X amount of dollars invested into this, X amount of dollars set aside for retirement, X amount of debts paid, all that kind of stuff. Owning this, situation, and, all that, or owning your own vehicle, not paying, or whatever. He didn't go into that detail, but that's where automatically my mind went to. And the simple version for all the different numbers I was playing around with in my head is like, for myself, rich would be $2 million. For the rest of the world, rich would be 18 million. And why 18 million? I can go into a lot of reasons, but there would be so many different businesses I would try to contribute to, and I would try to be a part of if I had 18 million. Like as soon as I clear that too, if I ever do, I mean, who knows? But that 2 million, that's where I have, so much set aside in very, stable investments that could keep me alive, pay for all the things that I would like to consistently pay for and be alive with, food, water, shelter, all that kind of stuff. Not that water is all that expensive, but I have a feeling it might eventually be. I hope not. Then my investments paying, like, the how should I say it, a certain amount of adventurous investments in there too, but also some very stable investments that I think can almost guarantee at least $25,000 a year, but more productively
beyond that 25, I would hope to, the income at 5% and all this kind of stuff would be about maybe $36,000 a year. And that would be comfortable to a level that doesn't take that much for me to live off of. But doing the right things in certain ways, it probably would. Eating better food, maybe going to more, farmers market, maybe going to Whole Foods every now and then, because that's an expensive proposition. Things like that. But thank goodness, one of my staples, frozen bags of broccoli. That's about $1. And who knows? Maybe this week will be the week I eat broccoli every single day. That frozen bag of broccoli every single day. That could be a bad idea in some ways. I don't know. I did it last night and it was pretty good. Of course, the thing that's so good about it is I just use it as a vehicle for different sauces. And it's kind of funny how my big plate of broccoli and just all broccoli and then like different sauces scattered around it. I think I'm going to put more black pepper on it too. So that's going to be a good thing. So yeah, this is me talking about life. Like, this is how boring it is. It's very fun for me, but I imagine how painfully boring this is to somebody else. So thank goodness it's the end of this. So not only am I working out my body, but I'm also working out my mind a little bit. And then by talking about goals, maybe I'm working out my spirit a little bit. And back to the whole idea of, I don't necessarily think a person needs to be religious to believe in spirit or soul, because I have this fun definition of soul that is not dependent upon the idea of an afterlife. So, like, the basic programming in a lot of people, one of the basic programming tenets in human beings is avoid pain, seek pleasure. And I say avoid pain first because avoiding pain is usually a bit of a larger priority, I guess I should say, than seeking pleasure. But yeah, avoid pain, seek pleasure. So that's a simple thing that's part of human programming. But if you analyze all of your actions, and then you find some of your actions don't necessarily fully agree with avoid pain, seek pleasure, and it's just like, okay, that I think is a glimpse to that thing that is the soul, the motive power behind the human being. So that's probably one of the better ways I can describe that concept and idea. And the good news is that's not dependent upon an afterlife. So I do like using the word soul, and I have had a little bit of pushback. There's a question that's like, hey, how you doing? But if I really want to ask it, and I really want to have somebody go and think about how they're doing, I will section it off. I'll break it into chunks, and the chunks are mind, body, and soul. And the way to get it to think a little bit is about quantifying it. So I use a 1 through 13 scale, a scale that people are not used to. So that's even a different quantization. So like 1 being the worst and 13 being the absolute best anything could ever be. On a 1 through 13 scale, how are you feeling in 3 dynamics? Mind, body, and soul. And that is the long-winded version of saying, how are you? And actually really investing in caring about another human being and the answer to that question. Some people don't like that question because a simple how do you do is just fine enough, but every now and then I want to get a little bit deeper with it. And I think in those situations where I think it's beneficial for me and beneficial for that person to answer that question, hey. But I'm sure that there's times that's not very beneficial for someone to answer that question. So gotta be careful of that and try not to waste too much other people's times. I guess that's why it's good to have a talk situation like this, because hey, I'm just airing out my head and I'm not wasting anybody else's time. Not that I mind when people air out their heads, and if I think they're wasting my time, I'll do something else while listening to them on the phone or talking face to face. I'll just go ahead and do something different and like, okay, keep telling me. I'll focus on, practicing what I'm not necessarily very good at, which is multitasking. I say that with dread. So bad at multitasking. But I don't necessarily know I want to get good with it. I just wouldn't mind being a little bit better with it. All right, so that is that. Saying words, using words. Later it shall be.